First things first, you want to make sure you get your free points from the perk machines, pick up your fumigator for fumigating, and get the free 500 points from the ticket. Now break the crate in beast mode in the back of the truck to gain access to the summoning key, and zap this crate right here to gain access to the ritual item, which is the lawyer's pin. The key is important, don't forget to pick it up. And then pick up the lawyer's pin. Now when you pick up any object for the ritual, these keepers will appear. Do not kill them though. You want to make sure you can at least save them, and basically you want to do the ritual with them. Now the reason you want them to follow you into the ritual room is because when they die when the ritual is completed, they will respawn as normal zombies, allowing you to kill them and get more points. So there's a little fun fact, which of course many of you probably know already. So activate the ritual, complete the ritual, and then you're going to want to pick up your gate worm and continue on to the next ritual, of course. In the Footlight District, run up here and jump across this ramp to gain access to this crate. Whack it, jump back in this area, and take a right, then zip line to this to zap this to gain access into the burlesque. Pick up the toupee, which spawns the keepers, go to the burlesque, start the ritual, complete the ritual, and then pick up your gate worm. Now, as you should know, the second and fourth gate worm will always spawn in a Margwa. And there the lovely Margwa is. Now in the Waterfront District, you want to zip line to this building to gain access to this one to hit this crate with the item. Now where I'm looking at is where you run down here to gain access into the gym. Then you want to pick up the championship belt, come to the gym, start the ritual, complete the ritual, and pick up the third gate worm for the Pack-a-Punch. Now during the canals area, if you stand right here perfectly, you should be able to open up this ritual site right here, which I did. Then in the canal, zap that box, it's important. Break this crate, which will be locked unless you zap that box I showed you earlier. Then you want to pick up the detective's badge right there. Go to the ritual site right here. Start it, complete it, and then the Pack-a-Punch area will be open because this is the final gate worm you need. Now, when you come to this wall, which will have 5 glowing symbols, which means you're done, the wall is going to materialize away. Place the 4 gate worms down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Access the altar to start this ritual, and let the ritual finish, and there you go. The Pack-a-Punch is now open. The shield. One of the locations for the shield part will always be up here in the Footlight District. The second location will always be around this area in the Waterfront. And the third and final location for the shield part will be in this area, little lounge area in the canals. Then, once you have all the pieces, find a suitable workbench to craft and build your zombie shield. Apothecon / Keeper Sword. To get the sword, first you need the symbols. When traveling from Footlight to the Waterfront District, look out the left side of the train to locate 2 symbols that you require. One being right there, and the other symbol will be right here when you get to the Footlight District. Now, once you go from the Footlight to the canals, go look to the right from the train, in that big hole right there. As you can see, that was the last piece that you needed. Now, when Pack-a-Punch is open, these symbols will now glow. So while in beast mode, knock the symbols apart to have the things fade away. Once that's done, you want to pick up the egg. I don't know when I do that, but basically take it to these 4 statues. This is the first one I choose because this area is really cramped and you can get cornered really easily. So I choose this one first, in the canals area. The second one I choose is this one, because as you can see, with these zombies, this one they appear really fast, and it's another really stressful, hazardous area, and it is in the waterfront area. So, kill zombies, fill it up. The third one I choose is right here in the Footlight District, because this one is pretty much really cramped. But as you can see, you can have every zombie come from one way to make it really easy, and the egg should be completed by now, which it is. As you can see, it really goes white, so if you haven't ever got the sword before, you know what it looks like. Then of course, I saved the final one right here, because it just makes it much more convenient in my opinion to do. Once it's done, put it back to the statue, but run away from it because it does take time for it to give you the sword and you don't want to get trapped there. So that's why I went away from it to pick up my sword. And now it's on to upgrading it. Now to upgrade it, you need to go to these four. Well, first you need to get the arch ovum egg from your character's specific location and take it to 4 ritual markings that are on the ground. The one I choose first is right here outside the first room. You activate it and a Margwa will appear, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. You kill the Margwa and the egg upgrades. That's all that needs to be really said about it. I recommend using the sword because the sword does recharge whenever you access the room. The second one I choose is right here, and please know that the second, third, and fourth ritual will always have 2 Margwas spawn, so use the sword. I saved the oxygen one for the third one. As you can see, it showed me the symbol, suppress it. As you can see, it's recharging it. I saved this one last because, well, the burlesque is my character's area. It makes it more convenient. I almost died there, holy shit, but I managed to pull through. And then, when you're gonna kill the final Margwa, which I should do in a bit, whenever I decide to do it, there you go, the egg's gonna flash red, let you know that you got the job done. And now, it's time to take your red egg back to the ghost keeper. She accepts the egg, and she gives you the, I think it's called like the reborn sword. It's called pick up the reborn sword, but of course it's called the keeper sword. There you go. Also note that you can only do 1 ritual upgrade for the sword per round. The perks. Now the perks you're gonna need for this strategy, in my opinion, goes like this. First up, you know, what did you expect? It's Juggernaut. Second perk is another one that's a no-brainer. It's Quick Revive. Now since you're gonna be running around with the Apothecon Servant, which does make you go slow, Stamina Up is the third perk in my opinion to get. Now the last and final perk has to go to Widow's Wine, as you're going to be having a lot of close calls while doing this strategy, so having Widow's Wine to help make things much more easier and also stop the horde in their tracks is really going to help you survive. The Wonder Weapon. The first item, the Margwa's Heart, is obtained when you defeat a Margwa, of course, for the first time. I killed the Margwa, I didn't want to get that nuke, and there it is. Now the second item, according to the list at the top left, is the Ectoplasma, which you get for killing a bug, and of course elementals. And right there, it was extremely rare for that to drop. Or Xenomatter, my bad. But if you can't get it, have this book hover. Once you upgrade the Keeper Sword, then once you have that book hover by holding the action button, this flag appears in the rift. Hold down the action button to have the flag appear on your character. While you have the flag, no zombies appear, and nothing but elementals will spawn until you put the flag down. Basically, kill the elementals to have them drop Xenomatter. Then for the last part, you fumigate a purple pod like I just did to get the Margwa's Tentacle. Now, once you have all 3 parts that are required of you, find a nice cozy workbench that's suitable for you, and build the weapon. Once the weapon is built, pick up your little alien friend and fist it for maximum damage output. The Silver Protector. To get the Silver Protector, you need to find these 3 room fuses, whoops, my bad, located in the area. One was right there in the Footlight District, one is here in the Waterfront District, and the final one is right here in the Canals area. I'm not showing you where they are thoroughly because, well, this is not that type of video. But as you can see right here in the rift is where you place the fuses, and then you come to this terminal and access it for 2 grand to gain the Silver Protector. The strategy. During early rounds, you basically do nothing. The Silver Protector will basically take care of everything. But don't just leave everything to your Silver Protector, also use your Keeper's Sword. Now, another thing about the Keeper Sword is, the Keeper Sword is also really good for the Margwa, but if you don't like taking chances, I wouldn't risk it, which is why I say get the ray gun. As you can see here, the Keeper Sword is definitely holding up its own, and it can murder zombies. But it isn't just like a low round thing, the Keeper Sword is good in high rounds. As you can see here on round 45, the Keeper Sword is still murdering zombies. I still have the robot with me, as you can see right there, but he's struggling. But he can revive you, so that's a good reason to keep summoning him. He can revive you. Now, you don't want to use the chain traps because zombies run through them. As you can see here, this is explains itself. When you find the Margwa, You want to come to the rifts because while in the canals area, that's just stupid and suicidal. You want to try to pile up zombies as much as you can when you use the shockwave attack with the sword. As you can see right there, it was an epic failure. And really nothing else to say. You run around. You want to keep an eye on your shields for when it breaks, like I just did right there. So you know when you're gonna run and get a new shield. Now I actually could have built the shield in this district. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. But because I felt like being complicated, I decided to not do that. But basically, that's the strategy. You stay here, use the silver protector, keep an eye on your shield, use the sword to get kills without wasting ammo, and use the alchemical aesthetics gobblegum if you ever feel like your ammo's running low. And with that being said, kill the Margwa in the rift so you're not to panic yourself. Then all you need to do is really practice, really get good, and then, take what you can, but you can definitely get to around 100. EON out.